Section 1. Basic functions. Basic information before operation. Touch switch operation, inputting letters and numbers, current position display, screen scroll operation, one touch scroll, map scale, orientation of the map, limitations of the navigation system, and map database information and updates. Touch switch operation. This system is operated mainly by the switches on the screen. To prevent damage to the screen, lightly touch switches on the screen with your finger. When you touch a switch on the screen, a beep sounds. Do not use objects other than your finger to touch the screen. Information. If the system does not respond to a touch of a switch, move your finger away from the screen and then touch it again. You cannot operate dim switches. Wipe off fingerprints on the surface of the display using a glass cleaning cloth. The displayed image may become darker and moving images may be slightly distorted when the display is cold. Inputting letters and numbers. When searching for an address or a name or entering a memo, you can input letters and numbers via the touch screen. To input letters. To display the alphabet keys, touch the A to Z switch or the A to Y switch. Enter letters by touching the alphabet keys directly. Left touching this switch erases one letter. Holding this switch will continue to erase letters. To input numerals and symbols. To display the number keys and symbol keys, touch the 0 to 9 switch. Enter numerals and symbols by touching the number keys and symbol keys directly. Left touching this switch erases one letter. Holding this switch will continue to erase letters. Right touching this switch displays other symbols. To display the list. To search for an address or a name, touch the list switch. Matching items from the database are listed even if the entered address or name is incomplete. If the number of matches is 4 or less, the list is displayed without touching the list switch. Information. The number of matching items is shown to the right side of the screen. If the number of matching items is more than 9,999, the system displays 4 asterisks on the screen. List screen operation. When a list is displayed, you can scroll or page through the list by using the appropriate switch. Shift up or shift down to shift to the next or previous page. Up or down to scroll up or down one item at a time. This expresses a displayed screen position. If right appears to the right of the item name, the complete name is too long for the display. Touch right to scroll to the end of the name. Touch left to scroll to the beginning of the name. Current position display. When starting the navigation system, the current position is displayed first. This screen displays the current vehicle position and a map of the surrounding local area. The current vehicle position mark appears in the center or bottom center of the map screen. You can return to this map screen showing your current position at any time from any screen by pushing the map/voice button. During driving, the current vehicle position mark is fixed in the screen and the map moves. The current position is automatically set as your vehicle receives signals from the GPS global positioning system. If your current position is not correct, it is automatically corrected after your vehicle receives signals from the GPS. Information. After battery disconnection or on a new vehicle, the current position may not be correct. As soon as the system receives signals from the GPS, the correct current position is displayed. To correct the current position manually, see page 79. Screen scroll operation, one touch scroll. Touch any point on the map, and that point moves to the center of the screen and is shown by the cursor mark. If you wish to look at a point on the map, which is different to your current vehicle position, you can bring the desired point to the center of the screen by using the scroll feature. If you continue to hold your finger on the screen, the map will continue scrolling in that direction until you lift your finger. After you scroll the screen, the map remains centered at the selected location until you activate another function. The current vehicle position mark will continue to move along your actual route and may move off the screen. When you push the map/voice button, the current vehicle position mark returns to the center of the screen and the map moves as you proceed along the designated route. Information. When you use the one-touch scroll feature, the current vehicle position mark may disappear from the screen. Move the map with a one-touch scroll again or push the map/voice button to return to the current vehicle position map location display. To set the cursor position as a destination, you can set a specific point on the map as a destination using the one-touch scroll function. Touch the Enter Destination switch. The screen changes and displays the map location of the selected destination and the route preference. See Entering Destination on page 40. If there is already a preset destination, touch the Add to Destination switch or the Replace Destination switch. When there is already a preset destination, using the Add to Destination switch to set an additional destination will set the new one as the first point of arrival. To register the cursor position as a memory point. Memory point registration enables easy access to a specific point. Touch the mark switch. When you touch the mark switch, the following screen appears for a few seconds, and then the map screen returns. The registered point is shown by flag on the map. To change the icon or name, etc., see page 70. You can register up to 106 memory points. If you attempt to register more than 106, a message appears for confirmation. To see information about the icon where the cursor is set. To display information about an icon, set the cursor on it. POI information. When the cursor is set on a POI icon, the name and info switch are displayed on the top of the screen. Touch the info switch. Information such as the name, address, and phone number are displayed. If you touch the Enter Destination switch, the position of cursor is set as a destination. If there is already a preset destination, the Add to Destination switch and the Replace Destination switch are displayed. When there is already a preset destination, using the Add to Destination switch to set an additional destination will set the new one as the first point of arrival. To register this POI as a memory point, touch the mark switch. For details, see page 68. If you touch the Answer Phone switch, the registered telephone number can be called. Information. The desired point of interest can be displayed on the map screen. For details, see page 51. Memory point information. When the cursor is set on a memory point icon, the name and info switch are displayed on the top of screen. Touch the info switch. Information such as the name, location, and phone number are displayed. If you touch the Enter Destination switch, the position of cursor is set as a destination. If there is already a set destination, the Add to Destination switch and the Replace Destination switch are displayed. When there is already a preset destination, using the Add to Destination switch to set an additional destination will set the new one as the first point of arrival. To edit a memory point, touch the Edit switch. For details, see page 70. If you touch the Answer Phone switch, the registered telephone number can be called. Map scale. Touch the Zoom In or Zoom Out switch to change the scale of the map display. The scale bar and indicator at the bottom of the screen indicates the map scale menu. The scale ranges 150 feet, 50 meters, to 250 miles, 400 kilometers. Touch the Zoom In or Zoom Out switch until the scale bar changes normally. If you continue to touch on the switch, the scale bar changes smoothly. You can change the scale of the map display by touching the scale bar directly. It is not available during driving. The map scale is displayed under the north up symbol or heading up symbol at the top left of the screen. Information. When the map scale is at the maximum range of 250 miles, 400 kilometers, zoom out is not shown. When the map scale is at the minimum range of 150 feet, 50 meters, zoom in is not shown. However, in the area where the footprint map is contained, when the map scale is changed to 150 feet, 50 meters, the switch changes to the footprint map switch. Orientation of the map. North up screen. Heading up screen. You can change the orientation of the map from north up to heading up by touching the orientation symbol at the top left of the screen. North up symbol. Regardless of the direction of vehicle travel, north is always up. Heading up symbol. The direction of vehicle travel is always up. A red arrow indicates north. Limitations of the navigation system. This navigation system calculates the current vehicle position using satellite signals, various vehicle signals, map data, etc. However, the accurate position may not be shown depending on the satellite condition, road configuration, vehicle condition, or other circumstances. The Global Positioning System, GPS, developed and operated by the U.S. Department of Defense, provides an accurate current vehicle position using 3 to 4 satellites. The GPS system has a certain level of inaccuracy. While the navigation system will compensate for this most of the time, occasional positioning errors of up to 300 feet, 100 meters, can and should be expected. Generally, position errors will be corrected within a few seconds. When your vehicle is receiving signals from the satellites, the GPS mark appears at the top left of the screen. The GPS signal may be physically obstructed, leading to an accurate vehicle position on the map display. Tunnels, tall buildings, trucks, or even the placement of objects on the instrument panel may obstruct the GPS signals. The GPS satellites may not send signals due to repairs or improvements being made to them. Even when the navigation system is receiving clear GPS signals, the vehicle position may not be shown accurately, or inappropriate route guidance may occur in some cases. Notice: the installation of window tinting may obstruct the GPS signals. Most window tinting contains some metallic content that will interfere with GPS signal reception. We advise against the use of window tinting on vehicles equipped with navigation systems. Accurate current vehicle position may not be shown in the following cases: when driving on a small, angled Y-shaped road, when driving on a winding road, when driving on a slippery road such as in sand, gravel, snow, etc., when driving on a long straight road, when freeway and surface streets run in parallel, after moving by ferry or vehicle carrier, when a long route is searched during high-speed driving, when driving without setting the current position calibration correctly, after repeating a change of direction by going forward and backward or turning on a turntable in the parking lot, when leaving a covered parking lot or parking garage, when a roof carrier is installed, when driving with tire chains installed, when the tires are worn, after replacing a tire or tires, when using tires that are smaller or larger than the factory specifications, when the tire pressure in any of the 4 tires is not correct. Information: if your vehicle cannot receive GPS signals, you can correct the current position manually. For information on setting the current position calibration, see page 79. Inappropriate route guidance may occur in the following cases: when turning at an intersection off the designated route guidance. If you set more than one destination but skip any of them, Auto Reroute will display a route returning to the destination on the previous route. When turning at an intersection for which there is no route guidance. When passing through an intersection for which there is no route guidance. During Auto Reroute, the route guidance may not be available for the next turn to the right or left. It may take a long time to operate Auto Reroute during high-speed driving. In Auto Reroute, a detour route may be shown. After Auto Reroute, the route may not be changed. An unnecessary U-turn may be shown or announced. A location may have multiple names and the system will announce one or more. Some routes may not be searched. If the route to your destination includes gravel, unpaved roads or alleys, the route guidance may not be shown. Your destination point might be shown on the opposite side of the street. When a portion of the route has regulations prohibiting the entry of the vehicle that vary by time or season or other reasons, the road and map data stored in your navigation system may not be complete or may not be the latest version. After replacing the tire, implement the operation described in the tire change calibration. For details, see page 80. This navigation system uses tire turning data and is designed to work with factory-specified tires for your vehicle. Installing tires that are larger or smaller than the originally equipped diameter may cause inaccurate display of the vehicle's position. The tire pressure also affects the diameter of the tire, so please make sure the tire pressure of all 4 tires is correct. Map database information and updates. This system uses the maps of Denso. Copyright GDT, Geographic Data Technology Incorporated. Copyright 2004 Navtech. All rights reserved. Data by Info USA. Copyright 2004. All rights reserved. Copyright 2004 Visa Corporation. National Research Bureau. Copyright 2004. The Bullseye design is a registered trademark of Target Brands, Incorporated, and user license agreement. Please read this agreement carefully before using the navigation system. This is a license agreement for your copy of the map database. The database, originally made by Geographic Data Technology, Incorporated, GDT, used in the navigation system. By using the database, you accept and agree to all terms and conditions set forth below. Ownership. The database and the copyrights and intellectual property or neighboring rights therein are owned by GDT or its licensors. License grant. GDT grants you a non-exclusive license to use your copy of the database for your personal use or for use in your business internal operations. This license does not include the right to grant sub-licenses. Limitations on use. The database is restricted for use in the specific system for which it was created. Except to the extent explicitly permitted by mandatory laws, you may not extract or reutilize any portion of the contents of the database, nor reproduce, copy, modify, adapt, translate, disassemble, decompile, or reverse engineer any portion of the database. Transfer. You may not transfer the database to third parties, except together with a system for which it was created, provided that you do not retain any copy of the database, and provided that the transferee agrees to all terms and conditions of this agreement. Disclaimer of warranty. GDT does not warrant or make any representations regarding, either express or implied, regarding the use or results of the use of the database in terms of its correctness, accuracy, reliability, or otherwise, and expressly disclaims any implied warranties of quality, performance, merchantability, fitness for a particular purpose or non-infringement. GDT does not warrant that the database is or will be error-free. No oral or written information or advice provided by GDT, your supplier, or any other person shall create a warranty. Limitation of liability. The price of the database does not include any consideration for assumption of risk of consequential, indirect, or unlimited direct damages, which may arise in connection with your use of the database. Accordingly, in no event shall GDT or supplier of the navigation system using the database supplier be liable for any consequential, special, incidental, or indirect damages, including without limitation, loss of revenue, data, or use, incurred by you or any third party arising out of your use of the database, whether in an action, in contract or tort, or based on a warranty, even if GDT or the supplier has been advised of the possibility of such damages. In any event, GDT's liability for direct damages is limited to the price of your copy of the database. The disclaimer of warranty and limitation of liability set forth in this agreement do not affect or prejudice your statutory rights where you have acquired the database otherwise than in the course of a business. Some states and laws do not allow the exclusion of implied warranties, so the above disclaimer may not apply to you. Warnings. The database reflects reality as existing before you received the database, and it comprises data and information from government and other sources which may contain errors and omissions. Accordingly, the database may contain inaccurate or incomplete information due to the passage of time, changing circumstances, and due to the nature of the sources used. The database does not include or reflect information on, inter alia, neighborhood safety, law enforcement, emergency assistance, construction work, road or lane closures, vehicle or speed restrictions, road slope or grade, bridge height, weight or other limits, road or traffic conditions, special events, traffic congestion, or travel time. Government end users. If the database is for a region of North America and is being acquired by or on behalf of the United States government or any other entity seeking or applying rights similar to those customarily claimed by the United States government, the database is licensed with limited rights. Utilization of the database is subject to the restrictions specified in the Rights in Technical Data and Computer Database Clause at the FARS 252.227-7013 or the equivalent clause for non-defense agencies. Manufacturer of the database for North America is Geographic Data Technology, Incorporated at 11 Lafayette Street, Lebanon, New Hampshire, 03766, USA. End user notice. Please read this notice carefully before using this navigation system. The point of interest data, POI data, in the navigation system is in part provided by InfoUSA Incorporated, InfoUSA. By using the POI data, you accept and agree to all terms and conditions set forth below. 1. Ownership. All rights, title and interest to the InfoUSA POI data shall be retained by InfoUSA. 2. Limitations on use. Except to the extent explicitly permitted by mandatory laws, you may not extract or reutilize any portion of the contents of the POI data, nor reproduce, copy, modify, adapt, translate, disassemble, decompile, or reverse engineer any portion of the POI data. 3. Transfer. You may not transfer the POI data to third parties, except together with a system for which it was created, provided that you do not retain any copy of the POI data. 4. Disclaimer of warranty. Except as stated herein, Infusa makes no express or implied warranties, including, without limitation, any express or implied warranty of fitness for a particular purpose or warranty of merchantability. 5. Limitation of liability. Either Infusa or supplier of POI data shall not be liable for any indirect, consequential or incidental damages made or alleged in connection with your use of the POI data. End user license agreement. Personal use only. You agree to use this information for solely personal, non-commercial purposes and not for service bureau, time-sharing or other similar purposes. You may not modify the information or remove any copyright notices that appear on the information in any way. You may not decompile, disassemble or reverse engineer any portion of this information and may not transfer or distribute it in any form, for any purpose. Without limiting the foregoing, you may not use this information with any products, systems, or applications installed or otherwise connected to or in communication with vehicles capable of vehicle navigation, positioning, dispatch, real-time route guidance, fleet management or similar applications. No warranty. This information is provided to you as is, and you agree to use it at your own risk. Denso and its licensors and their licensors and suppliers, collectively Denso, make no guarantees, representations or warranties of any kind, express or implied, arising by law or otherwise, including but not limited to, and Denso expressly disclaims any warranties regarding content, quality, accuracy, completeness, effectiveness, reliability, fitness for a particular purpose, non-infringement, usefulness, use or results to be obtained from this information, or that the information or server will be uninterrupted or error-free. Some states, territories and countries do not allow certain warranty exclusions, so to that extent, the above exclusion may not apply to you. Disclaimer of liability. Denso shall not be liable to you for any claim, demand or action, irrespective of its nature, alleging any loss, injury or damages, whether direct, indirect, incidental, special or consequential damages, including any loss of profit, revenue or contracts arising out of your possession, use of or inability to use this information, any defect in the information, or the breach of these terms or conditions, whether in an action, in contract or tort or based on a warranty, even if Denso or its licensors have been advised of the possibility of such damages. Some states, territories and countries do not allow certain liability exclusions or damages limitations, so to that extent the above may not apply to you. Indemnity. You agree to indemnify, defend and hold Denso and its licensors, including their respective licensors, suppliers, assignees, subsidiaries, affiliated companies, and the respective officers, directors, employees, shareholders, agents and representatives of each of them, free and harmless from and against any liability, loss, injury, including injuries resulting in death, demand, action, cost, expense, or claim of any kind or character, including but not limited to attorney's fees arising out of or in connection with any use or possession by you of this information. End user notice. The marks of companies displayed by this product to indicate business locations are the marks of their respective owners. The use of such marks in this product does not imply any sponsorship, approval, or endorsement by such companies of this product. End user terms. The map data disk data is provided for your personal internal use only and not for resale. It is protected by copyright and is subject to the following terms and conditions, which are agreed to by you on the one hand and Denso Corporation, licensee, and its licensors, including their licensors and suppliers, on the other hand. Such licensors include Navtech North America, LLC. Without limiting the foregoing, you agree that Navtech North America, LLC, shall have the right to enforce these terms directly against you. Copyright 2004 Navtech. All rights reserved. The data for areas of Canada includes information taken with permission from Canadian authorities, including copyright Her Majesty the Queen in right of Canada, copyright Queen's Printer for Ontario, copyright Canada Post Corporation, GeoBase. Terms and conditions. Personal use only. You agree to use this data for the solely personal, non-commercial purposes for which you were licensed, and not for service bureau, time-sharing or other similar purposes. Accordingly, but subject to the restrictions set forth in the following paragraphs, you may copy this data only as necessary for your personal use to 1. View it, and 2. Save it, provided that you do not remove any copyright notices that appear and do not modify the data in any way. You agree not to otherwise reproduce, copy, modify, decompile, disassemble or reverse engineer any portion of this data and may not transfer or distribute it in any form, for any purpose, except to the extent permitted by mandatory laws. You may transfer the data and all accompanying materials on a permanent basis if you retain no copies and the recipient agrees to these end-user terms. Multi-disc sets may not be transferred on a divided basis. Restrictions. Except where you have been specifically licensed to do so by licensee, and without limiting the preceding paragraph, you may not a. Use this data with any products, systems, or applications, installed or otherwise, connected to or in communication with vehicles, capable of vehicle navigation, positioning, dispatch, real-time route guidance, fleet management or similar applications, or b. With or in communication with any positioning devices or any mobile or wireless, connected electronic or computer devices, including without limitation cellular phones, top and handheld computers, pagers, and personal digital assistants or PDAs. No warranty. This data is provided to you as is, and you agree to use it at your own risk. Licensee and its licensors and their licensors and suppliers make no guarantees, representations or warranties of any kind, express or implied, arising by law or otherwise, including but not limited to content, quality, accuracy, completeness, effectiveness, reliability, fitness for a particular purpose, usefulness, use or results to be obtained from this data, or that the data or server will be uninterrupted or error-free. Disclaimer of warranty. Licensee and its licensors, including their licensors and suppliers, disclaim any warranties, express or implied, of quality, performance, merchantability, fitness for a particular purpose or non-infringement. Some states, territories and countries do not allow certain warranty exclusions, so to that extent the above exclusion may not apply to you. Disclaimer of liability. Licensee and its licensors, including their licensors and suppliers, shall not be liable to you in respect of any claim, demand or action, irrespective of the nature of the cause of the claim, demand or action alleging any loss, injury or damages, direct or indirect, which may result from the use or possession of the information, or for any loss of profit, revenue, contracts or savings, or any other direct, indirect, incidental, special or consequential damages arising out of your use of or inability to use this information, any defect in the information, or the breach of these terms or conditions, whether in an action, in contract or tort or based on a warranty, even if licensee or its licensors have been advised of the possibility of such damages. Some states, territories and countries do not allow certain liability exclusions or damages limitations, so to that extent the above may not apply to you. Export control. You agree not to export from anywhere any part of the data provided to you or any direct product thereof except in compliance with and with all licenses and approvals required under applicable export laws, rules and regulations. Entire agreement. These terms and conditions constitute the entire agreement between licensee and its licensors, including their licensors and suppliers, and you pertaining to the subject matter hereof, and supersedes in their entirety any and all written or oral agreements previously existing between us with respect to such subject matter. Governing law. The above terms and conditions shall be governed by the laws of the Illinois without giving effect to 1. Its conflict of laws provisions, or 2. The United Nations Convention for Contracts for the International Sale of Goods, which is explicitly excluded. You agree to submit to the jurisdiction of Illinois for any and all disputes, claims and actions arising from or in connection with the data provided to you hereunder. Government and users. If the licensed data is being acquired by or on behalf of the United States government or any other entity seeking or applying rights similar to those customarily claimed by the United States government, 1. For acquisitions conducted by the Department of Defense, the licensed data is licensed with limited rights in accordance with the rights set forth at the FARS 252.227-7013. B. 3. Technical data non-commercial items, unlicensed data, delivered or otherwise, furnished with limited rights, shall be marked with the following limited rights notice set forth at the FARS 252.227-7013. F3. And shall be treated in accordance with such notice. Limited rights. Contractor, manufacturer / supplier, name, Navtech North America, LLC. Contractor, manufacturer / supplier, address, 222 Merchandise Mart Plaza, Suite 900, Chicago, Illinois 60654. The government's rights to use, modify, reproduce, release, perform, display, or disclose these technical data are restricted by paragraph B3 of the Rights in Technical Data Non-Commercial Items Clause, contained in the above identified contract. Any reproduction of technical data or portions thereof marked with this legend must also reproduce the markings. Any person other than the government who has been provided access to such data must promptly notify the above-named contractor. And 2. For civilian agency acquisitions, the licensed data is licensed in accordance with the rights set forth at FAR 52.227-14. G1. Rights in data general, protection of limited rights data on computer software. In the event that the contracting officer requires the delivery of limited rights licensed data that has been withheld or would otherwise be withholdable in accordance with FAR 52.227-14, G1, the licensed data is licensed with limited rights as set forth in the following limited rights notice at FAR 52.227-14, G2, alternate 2, which shall be affixed to the licensed data, and the licensed data shall be treated in accordance with such notice, which shall be marked on any reproduction of these data, in whole or in part. Limited Rights Notice, June 1987. These data may be reproduced and used by the government with the express limitation that they will not, without written permission of the contractor, be used for purposes of manufacture nor disclosed outside the government, except that the government may disclose these data outside the government for the following purposes, if any, provided that the government makes such disclosure subject to prohibition against further use and disclosure. There are no additional purposes permitting disclosure of such data. The manufacturer / supplier of the data is Navtech North America, LLC, 222 Merchandise Mart Plaza, Suite 900, Chicago, Illinois 60654. If the contracting officer refuses to use either of the licenses provided in 1 or 2 herein, the contracting officer must notify Navtech North America, LLC prior to seeking additional or alternative rights in the licensed data. There are 2 types of areas available for route guidance. In one type of area, primarily around metropolitan centers, detailed route guidance is available for the entire area. In the other type of area, all roads are displayed on the map, but route guidance is limited. The navigation route might lack precision because the data, no right turns, one-way traffic, etc., is not complete. It is still possible to reach the destination by following the arrow direction and distance as shown on the bottom left of the screen. The arrow points in the direction of the destination. The distance shown is as measured in a straight line from the current vehicle position to the destination area. In order to provide you with as accurate map information as possible, we are always gathering information such as on-road repairs and carrying out on-site investigations. However, the names of roads, streets, facilities, and their locations are often changed. In some places, construction on roads may be in progress. For that reason, information on some areas in this system might be different from the actual location. The map database is normally updated once a year. Contact your dealer for information about the availability and pricing of an update. To confirm the database version and disk coverage area. Step 1. Push the menu button. And Step 2. Touch the map DVD switch. Make sure the version of the database on this screen. The database version on the screen above may be different from the actual screen. To display the disk coverage area, touch the covered area switch. Confirm the covered area on the screen. Contact your dealer to find out if there is a more recent update released.